Might wonder. Might wonder. You're an Eminem. 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 Eminem. Milk chocolate. Bite-sized cat chocolate centered. Milk chocolate. Bite-sized cat chocolate centered. The M&M's can only all new Amazon chocolate. The M&M's can bite-sized candies. Amazon chocolate. The M&M's can only all new Amazon chocolate. The M&M's can.
I'd say that's a wrap.
This podcast is hosted on podhome.fm, the most modern podcast hosting platform. Podhome offers unlimited episodes and podcasts, and unlimited use of Podhome AI, which generates transcripts, clips, chapters, title suggestions, show notes, and much more. And all of that for just $15.99 a month or $185 per year. That's a steal. So go to podhome.fm and start your 30-day trial now. And enjoy the show with Joe.
From the Asylum Studios, deep in the bowels of Southwest Texas, it's the Joe Rooz Show. The show where we talk about anything and everything. Where nothing is sacred, nothing is watered down, and nothing is PC.
Alrighty. Hey folks, this is Joe Rooz, and it is great to be with you once again, transmitting live from the asylum, and of course, as always, doing the very best we can to bring you the best quality talk radio we could muster without all the bluster. Welcome to the Joe Rooz Show. All right, folks, I hope you guys had a great week so far. It is Wednesday evening. Hope you guys enjoyed Mother's Day. You know, Mother's Day, it's not a biblical holiday, but, God honors motherhood. And to set a day aside on a Sunday for Mother's Day, I mean, every day should be Mother's Day, but to set a day aside on Sunday just to acknowledge motherhood, I think that's really important, and that was the core of what we were trying to say Sunday on our show. So I hope you guys were able to check that out. If you haven't, please go back and take a look at it. I think you guys would get a real blessing from the Sunday show this past week. So, folks, tonight we are continuing on with our Wednesdays with Wayne. We have Wayne sitting here backstage waiting to come on. He has a lot of really important information that he wants to pass on to us. But, one of the things we've been talking about on our Wednesday nights with Wayne has been preparedness, emergency preparedness. Are you ready if in the event of an emergency, water, food, power, do you have what you need? Is that pantry full? That's what we talked about on the last Wednesday that Wayne was with us. So we're going to continue on that. We're going to build on that. This is really important stuff, folks. This is stuff that we need to talk about. You see the cost of things going up all around us. So being more prepared and self-sustained is also cost-effective for us. So there are lots of things to do and lots of things to consider, more not just in the realm of emergency preparedness. This stuff is important information for you. Wayne's going to bring it to us, and he's going to break it all down for us here momentarily. But, of course, before we bring in Wayne, let's take care of some of the housekeeping that we normally would do. So, folks, please don't forget to head over to our website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. And when you get over there, take a look at the contact section. It's up there in the right side of the page there in the little corner. Open up that pancake, open up the contact form, send us over a message. Let us know whatever's on your heart, whatever's on your mind, any questions, comments, cares, or concerns that you might have. Maybe you have a complaint. Realistically, you shouldn't have any complaints whatsoever, but you might. You can send that on over to us, and we will handle it appropriately. You could also let us know if there's anything that you'd like us to discuss on the show, a particular topic, or maybe a specific guest you'd like us to try to get. We're open to your comments and your suggestions and recommendations. So please let us know what you think. Now, if you don't want to use the web form, totally fine. Understand that. I don't like using web forms either because, that stupid caption nonsense drives me flipping crazy. But that's okay. You can always email us directly at info@joerooz.com. That's info@joerooz.com. And then also, you could also drop us a comment down below here in the comment section on Rumble and, of course, on YouTube as well. Why you're still on YouTube, I don't know. But still, you can drop a comment down there for us. We would really appreciate to hear from you. Now, also, folks, please don't forget that this is a live show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And then also we have our Sunday show every Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central Time, our Sunday Bible study show. Really important. You need to be checking that out, especially today. We are living in the last days of the last days, and we need to draw closer to God. And one of the ways you do that is through Bible study, reading your Bible, prayer, going to Bible study, going to church, all those things draw you closer to God. So make sure you're doing that, especially in these days, in these last days of the last days. All right. Also, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show with your friends, your family, and your followers. That way you'll help us to spread the love, spread the joy, the whimsy, the mirth of our show here on rumble.com/Joe Rooz and, of course, on youtube.com/@Joe Rooz. You can also listen to the show live on all of the audio platforms that support live streams. You can also go to our website, listen to it there as well. But it's very important that you like, subscribe, and share the show with your friends, your family, and your followers. Help us get found. That's the main thing. All right. Now, with all of that said, my friends, let us bring up Wayne Rankin, Dr. Prepper. How you doing, bud?
Joe, that bumper music got me kind of grooving into the show today, man. I dug that. So we're talking about our artificial intelligence, right? So we've ruled out rational intelligence, right? That's in the dumpster now, correct? Mm-hmm. No more rational intelligence. We have to go to artificial intelligence. You've gone up a level.
Sip of the coffee, dude. You can't do that, man.
Oh, that's right. I guess I got to have that cue on there after the sip is down here, man. So
then hit the joke.
I actually got a very important point on AI and don't know nothing about AI, but these data centers that they're building. These data centers. The data centers are mega structures. And I have a small little piece of land in Michigan, in the midsection of Michigan. And when I was driving back there last fall, because I go back to do my American heritage, if there's a heritage of our past, is deer hunting in the fall in the Midwest. It's just fathers, grandfathers of a different era. It's like right. Hemingway wrote about this stuff. In fact, Hemingway had a cabin about 2 hours from where my place is at.
Oh, really?
He wrote a lot of stuff on the Sabo River. And so it's a legacy type of thing. So as we were coming in, I'm seeing in the county as I'm coming up from the I-90 going from Washington State all the way across, no data center. Vote no data center. What is this? So I looked up, and they were voting in to put a data center in our county. And so I looked it up. It was going to cover 400 football fields, okay, of farmland. That was going to be, I didn't get to the depth of it. It was going to be eminent domain, or the farmers are buying out, or I just found this out, is our good buddy Donald Trump. He signed on the 1st of January that these data centers can go in without county vote, like your county commissioners or your city commissioners, those type of commissioners, because it's going to be held under the military.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to get more information. I just gleaned over it. So if anybody out there knows more, look it up. Right. But the thing is, the number one thing, and this is part of not the prepping. Prepping has been misused over the last 30 years, from making people look weirdos on TV shows, and they can get the weirdos on there. That's not hard to do. But prepping to me is being prepared and rational, just like anybody else. If you live in the country, and you may be far away from town, you should have some extra water, because if the power lines go out, they're getting longer to get to you than they will town. So most farmers I know, and where I'm at on the farm, we have things that you would need, like some water, flashlights, I have a little generator, a 7,000 watt one and a little one that can run a lot of stuff for days. But in town, it's a whole different story there. But the thing about what's happening with these data centers, they're using up massive water in the water tables. Now, let's move to where you're ever at in the United States. I'm in Washington State, Western Washington, hour and a half from the ocean, and it's known for rain. Okay, so they put up the very, very, very blue governor here will put up in March. We're already in a drought. This government is not they don't represent us. But in Eastern Washington, yeah, it can get dry over it. It's a desert. It's a high desert. My wife is from there. She says, yeah, we have hot summers, cold winters. So we don't have the drought problems that we do on we call the west of the Cascades, because it rains a lot. And I'm a handyman. So my downspouts, which I'm going to get down to the Pimple of Texas and just settle up my buddy to get some rain down his downspout so he'll have water for his garden he's going to be setting up when I get down there. We're in stage 1 of many stages of Operation Joe Garden. And so
yes,
I know, no, and absolutely. And I'm not just serious about passion about growing. I know how to grow. I'm a green thumb, absolutely. And so there's water problems in the country. Now, word is, like out in Vegas, they are drilling a multi-billion trillion dollar drill because Vegas is dry. And the Colorado River, which supplies, when you start reading this stuff, how many different areas of the country for drinking water, and it's going dry. So it is get prepared for that. It's not a Joe crazy prepper thing, but guess what happens, ladies and gentlemen? Food starts to rise. Okay, yeah, you cannot get water to the hay in fields and in different types of, like I say, well, what does hay have to do anything? You do like beef, right?
Of course.
Or, hay and straw feeds animals, not just horses, but, if you like lamb, goat, you start going through all of the different, products that are meat other than the horse. They eat a lot of those situations. Farmers grow stuff that are not eaten for people. They have a corn that's called field corn. It's for cows. Mm-hmm. If they don't have the water, if they have drought, so everything is.
So what's
like
the difference?
Dominoes. Okay,
what's the difference between field corn and corn for human consumption?
Okay, if you get a nice big Iowa corn of your good yellow corn and you chew into it, buttery and everything. If you chewed into this, your teeth would fall out. The field corn, it's as rock hard or pebbles. So the field corn is grown, and what they do, Joe, is they put it into this multi-shredder, and it comes out as grain. And so all of it's grain, the husk, the corn, and all the stuff part of it. It's a meal when it comes out that way. It's for the cattle. Iowa fed corn cattle, right? So 2 different types of corn, and so and then there's a third one for ethanol, or the gasoline. Part of that's when you see ethanol, that's part of the corn. So there's your gas. So it's amazing what the farmer, the plowman, and all those guys under that feed us category are being stretched. And another one, John Deere, is really putting a havoc on the farmers, because once again, they sold it to this company, to this company, to this company, where the guys who, if they get their $500,000 tractor, that's just one. If it goes with the microchip in it, bunks. It takes forever to get out there. And the old Joe farmer, his old John Deere, he'd jump out there and, put a new oil pan in it. That's no longer that. If his oil pan goes out, it could be $20,000.
Wow. So
it's amazing how things are changing. They say for the better, but I think I'd stick to an old, 1969 Mustang over the Mustangs today. Give me a carburetor, which I have a 66.
Because things were so much simpler back then with those cars. You didn't need to have a degree in computer science to diagnose a problem on a car.
Yeah. As I tell everybody, I live the most incredible, adventurous, crazy lifestyle in this price range. Mm-hmm. And part of it is I have a 66 Mustang, and I got up, and there's the best part of it is I got a carburetor and engine, and B is I got my work assistant, and she's got her nice new workman clothes on, and she's going to put a jumpsuit on with me, and I'm going to have my worker girl out there. Nice. And she's going to enjoy working it. But I just got pictures of her, ladies and gentlemen, right here. This is the result of a bad driving choice a person made several months ago, and I'm up to one hand, and half of that, I'm about 60% of one arm, and 0% of this one. So I'm doing okay. So I have my wife Ro out there. I got pictures. I've seen buddies in Detroit. She's up there on a roof, Joe. Did I say on a roof, right? With studs, putting plywood and steel metal on the roof. Next one's she's digging rock and stuff. And the woman just did 2 cords of wood with a splitter. And some of these rounds are over 100 pounds.
Wow. I know you sent me the picture. You sent me the picture of her up on the roof doing the work. Yeah.
A buddy said, that's the way the Comanches used to treat their women. But here's the cool thing. If you got a spouse, my prayer is, I hope you just enjoy it, and we do, and it's funny. But this woman used to break horses. I said, Joe, she used to break horses like in the movies to get them tame, and she used a crack whip and everything. So, farm girl, absolutely. And she is into the farming, helping me that, but she mostly does her beehives and other parts of the farm. And one of the things I want to switch into, when we get back, like I said, everything is changing that way. And part of the information I'm going to get from Ro is she works for one of the biggest warehouse, big box stores in the world. World. She's been there. She's worked in every department, every means. She actually used to go out and they would send her out to do get contracts with companies. Let's say Joe's Produce. You get the best tomatoes in the county. She'd go to Joe's and say, Joe, can you produce? I could produce 500 pounds a month or whatever. I'm just saying. And she'd work to get a contract. So she did marketing out that way. And then she did the business, and then she did supervising and everything. So she was coming in the other day, and I said, she knows what I'm doing here on prepping and looking to see how things. I'm working on the house with one arm. And she says, I got to tell you, honey, things are changing. I go, why what? She goes, can't remember. Let's go with the ketchup because it's easy. There's those big cans of ketchup everybody used to get, and the big jars, like you get the big ketchup, the big mustard, and the big relish. There was $7.99. She goes, $10.99 overnight. I go, why?
That's crazy.
She says, I don't understand because we're the big box guys. I won't say the name. And that's unusual because usually there's a price. They have all their things with their prices and stuff they get every week, every Sunday or Monday. And they show you what's new, what's going, what's disclosed, what's leaving. And she's doing down the line, Joe, even a little bit from some of the stuff. The number doesn't change within 50 cents or anything. But with her place, nothing really changes, but things are changing there. And she's going, customers are going, this used to be $8.99. It's $12.99 now. This is the whole thing of what's the trickle down craponomics, I call it. Because that's what it is. And we came into voting at the last person here who was a businessman. And he must be doing good business because the working class we're getting stiffed. And what happened to my I just turned 65 this year. What happened to the Social Security tax break we were supposed to get? I haven't seen it. So, in fact, this year, my prices went up and my retirement check went down $100 a month. So I said, okay, you know what? I just got to get an extra deer. But on prepping, she was even saying the people who depend on the big box, they're not going to have a garden. They're just simple Sally, Sally soccer mom comes in every week and gets her stuff. And she's got one kid hanging and one kid walking, or vice versa. I'm not just being stereotypical, but people that come in and they buy the same stuff. They do. They get their toilet paper, of course, and the this, Hot Pockets and stuff like that. And they're finding it's pricing them out of their basket, their push cart. So for people, I could tell them to say, I could ask them to say, what do you know about how to prepare stuff, even food at home? Now, if you're just a couple, you're going to be fine. If you got teenagers, even easier because teenagers are a little easier to feed, even though they may feed more because little ones, you got a lot of different stuff, diapers and formulas and this and stuff that you don't have with teenagers. And teenagers, they can fend for themselves on some things. But how can you make things not more bland, but there ain't going to be more steak. Okay, it's like this. The beginning of the month, we start with steak. By the end of the month, it's hot dogs. You know how the checks work. Some people get paid once or twice a month. So the beginning of the month, it's all steaks and beautiful. By the 30th, you're eating hot dogs because that's how that's a true story. That's how people are living month to month. Right. And I'm talking to my friends. I'm not talking people on the news. I got a really good network of people in church. And they know my wife. She never fails. They know where she works. Can I tell you the other day I went in and she's going, I know. I understand. I have to buy the same stuff too, you guys. So what is happening? I don't think America knows what the farmer does. And
no, I don't think
we really don't, Joe. And what it takes to get the food to table and the sacrifice and the hard work and what they're up against now. And we're getting the biggest enemy of all is, not the invasions of people dropping bombs on us from other countries. It's the ones coming in here in foreign markets buying farms. Yeah. China
That's
buying.
Dangerous. That is extremely dangerous.
One of the biggest hog companies in South Dakota is bought by China. And you gotta understand to say Hormel, and I know who it was. Let's say they would sell it for $10 billion. Well, China's coming in, we'll pay $25 billion. It's like an offer you can't refuse type of deal, because they have it. They can afford it. They can pay their people $1 a day in a bag of rice over there and get away with it. So they just bought one of the bigger pork companies in South Dakota. So there you go.
Interesting.
So, yeah. And so what does that do for us? Well, they can moderate their own prices and how things are even held in our own strict, USDA. I got it. There's, sometimes they made some blunders, but they still are out there trying to protect the meat qualities, the food qualities, inspectors. I don't think China would care. If I moved in my enemy's country and I owned the biggest pork place, hot tui,
Sure.
I'm being realistic. They're bad guys are bad guys. You can watch all the movies. It's not much different than real life. But what I'm going to be focusing on as I get going here, I can use my right arm here next week. I'm going to write up some spreadsheets on basic proposals on people for $50,000 in less a year. And I'm going to really single out, we're around here and we have a lot of moms whose husbands are deployed because we have a big base right up the road, one of the big ones. Right. And so, in every fact, people say if they want to throw out bombs, it's Fort Lewis McChord. You've got the Air Force Army base combined. If I was a bad guy, that's where I'd drop one too. And so, but we have a lot of moms out here. Some go to our church and we take meals once a month to the church, takes the meals up to the wounded guys. It's a thing. It's a dinners, and we make some dinners with used to be called the Wounded Warriors dinner or something like that. So emphasizing moms at home, whatever circumstance it is, singles, ex-divorced, stationed in another country, how to get your budget the best way you can. Okay. And there's some stores here that you can. I would not buy from the $1.50 store, no longer the dollar store, but there's a couple. There's a couple stores that they have.
I love how you just threw that in there. You caught me off guard with that.
I do that, but there's a couple places here. There are individual markets here. Oh shoot, I can't even think about it. But what they do is they buy the stuff. They get the stuff from the grocery markets that are not outdated yet, but it's still legible and edible, like the box and stuff. And grocery outlet is what it's called. I don't know if they're in other states, but it's called a grocery outlet. And I went over there and got some protein bars for $2.99. That would be $6.99 at a what we call Kroger company here. So the things of what your diet has to consist of, what type of diet. If it's you and the two children, you figure this stuff out. Which I have a lot of knowledge in the books that I read on what can sustain a family of 2 to 4, couple 3, and couple from 2 to 4 with a couple 2 kids. And how do you budget? And the preparedness is also budget. And so right now we're past our budgets. I mean, even our family, me and my wife here, and now she's out for a little bit to take care of me, and her budget's going to go down. And she actually lost part of her career with this car crash, where she will not be able to work full time for who knows how long, if ever again. So she went from full time to part time. So, but we don't have to worry. One of the biggest things that I think everybody in the world worries about is food. And like I said, we're already talked to we're in a fishing club called the Puget Sound Anglers, and we're setting up our fishing dates. And one thing that affects us a little bit is the gas. So the guys who have the boat say, well, we're going to ask for a little more gas money this year. Didn't even have to ask that. I said,
just out of curiosity, brother, what's the price per gallon right now where you are?
$5.19
for automobile gas.
Yeah, I just down the street there, just as I turned into their a Texaco, whichever it was, whoever it was, one of the major labels. It was $5.19, $5.20 for regular.
Yeah, we hit. I paid $4.19 yesterday.
Yeah, so we have we're in the top 5 for gas tax here. So yeah, but so the guys who are going fishing, well, we all know. I mean, but to these charter people, you're paying $300 or $400 for a charter for a salmon or one of those trips. And so our club members who have boats that take us out, we'll pay $50. That covers everything. So I just said this year, give the guy $100 for the trip. It's still a deal. Trust me. You catching? Sure. I caught a halibut, Joe. I got $600 worth of fish. $600.
Wow. 20
pounds at $30 a pound, fresh filleted halibut in any market in Seattle. Even nice. It's $30 filleted. And I got 20 pounds after I filleted it. It was a 40-pounder. I got 20 pounds. If I do my math right? 2 times 30, 60. It was $600. And that was one fish. And I won't be able to go, but Ro, she's going to go 3 days next week. I go, you could bring home $1,800 worth of fillets. And I'm not kidding you. A 30, 40 pounder each time.
That's great. Man. I wish I was able to do something like that over here.
Well, you know what? You're gonna when you get up here. Yes,
I'm saying over here. You know.
Oh yeah, I know. Hey,
I live here.
What do you got? You Texas? What do you got down in the ocean in Texas? Something, right? Flounder.
There's always something. Who knows? I don't even know. To be honest,
I know.
I don't even know where to go to fish around here. To be honest.
Oh no. So yeah.
You can't fish in the Rio Grande.
But I got this Joe part of the freezer still. There's a part of the freezer. It says Joe. I'm serious. I'm not just kidding.
As long as you're stocking it, that's all that matters.
It's 20-pound box, man. And if I do the math, it's up there, man. It's probably $200 or $300 box worth of fish. Because salmon now, like I say up here, is this is what I just talking here. What I just said. The guys who go catch your fish for the markets, their fuel's up.
Nice.
So what is prepping? It's more than just the crazy stuff that the stereotypical stuff that you see on those channels, History Channel. I watched one. Hey, my buddy, this is ridiculous. It's so scripted, and the guy's so over the top. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, bro. We got 20 minutes left of the show.
Okay.
I am going to back out of here. I'm giving you the last 20 minutes of the show, and I'll be in to close this thing out here momentarily. So whatever you got for us, brother, let us have it. All right, folks. Here we go. All right, here's Wayne, Emergency Preparedness, Dr. Prepper.
All right, let me adjust my camera a little bit there because I moved you over there. So for ladies and gentlemen, like I say, I'm prepping. People have used a misconception of these TV shows of guys, living in bunkers and having all this freeze-dried food that it's nonsensical. I mean, to have that kind of food, I guess, if you're thinking of what's going to happen, what kind of a scenario. And I've read and I've talked with some of the really greats out there. There's a couple of guys that are hunters and guys. I've hunted for 40 years in the high mountains. I've been out there for 3 weeks on my own for a week or two with my buddies for 2 or 3 weeks. And we take our food, we take our water, we take our sanitation, and we know how to deal with that. But as you're talking about prepping on the stereotypical shows I've seen in the past, it's over the top in the sense of how much food can you store for how many people, for how long. I'm thinking, well, what is the scenario? Okay, what type of scenario? And usually, is it an EMP? Is it out public, decourses, things have fallen apart? Well, you got to look at this. Where is it happening? If you live in a community, if something falls apart completely, let's say this chaos and rioting and what have you, I don't think tons of food is going to help you at your house because practically everybody will be in self-survival mode. And it is true that, if the streets go wild, I'm thinking of these scenarios that we're bringing up, you'd probably be more set to have yourself armed a little bit easier in the sense of what you need to know and what you need to learn. And there's guys out there that are actually pretty level-headed and rational. And there's guys out there, I'm not sure, but the guys out there will say, if you've never owned a firearm, if you're going to get one, take a course. And a lot of places will take a course, and you can even call your community centers, and even local law enforcement can direct you to something low cost, even handling the gun, storing the ammunition, storing the gun. If you have children, how to lock it up, because accidents happen to people who have had guns for most of their life. So the biggest part of it is knowledge of what's going on. And the thing on prepping for food. Now, canned goods compared to boxed goods and dry goods. Canned goods, I will eat it past its, expiration date. It doesn't mean it's spoiled. I've eaten stuff 2 or 3 months after the expiration date, a can of beans. It's still good, sealed. Now, box stuff like rice, if you could put rice and seal it, if you don't have a sealer, like one of those food sealer ones, in like a Home Depot bucket, in a bag, already in a bag, tied in the bag, and seal that lid, rice will last a while. And rice is good. And beans, because between rice and beans in 2 Home Depot buckets, 5 gallons each, you got your protein in your beans and a lot of vitamins in rice. Yes, you got your starch, you got your carbs. And I understand people can't just live on rice and beans, but actually you could. And so those two there right there are just pretty much will hold you off for a while. But my type of prepping is when I've been teaching and doing some classes is how to prepare your pantry at the supermarket for homes and for the single moms and for the moms at home and who's running the house, and going to the grocery store. And here's the things that you need and a couple more items behind it. Let's say if your kids love macaroni and cheese, get the big boxes of macaroni, the bags of macaroni, and get, like even Velveeta. I know it's not my favorite, but making your own macaroni is a lot more efficient than buying those dollar boxes anymore. Nothing's under $1 anymore. So you can get big bags of macaroni, and you can take the macaroni, which I've actually done, in glass jars, like your mason jars. I got it sealed, so I have my jar all ready to go, just to dump into the, ready in my 2-3 cups of water, and you can eat off of that for a few days even. And so, but there's a couple places that restaurant shops sell the powdered cheese that you would get in your little box of macaroni. You can get like 16 ounces of it, and there you go. You just feed off of that one there, because the stuff in the macaroni box, money wise, you're paying $1 for a box. You pay about $6 for like a pound, and $2 for a pound of noodles. Maybe some places here $1.50. And so that right there will give you how many days of lunches. And you can put a snappy, Tupperware thing on, and leftovers are great, and things go good with macaroni. Now, if you can, if your chicken budget, some chicken budgets, you can't do chicken breast, chicken thighs, or even chicken drumsticks. You can match that up with the macaroni. And the thing is, we're getting priced out. People who, like myself, I'm a retired postal employee, and I must tell you, it's getting close to what's happening with my paycheck and what I'm owing. My taxes went up double this year. I was paying $3,000 a year for my property taxes. They're now $6,000. That's my first 2 months of my check for the year. So now I have 10 months left for the rest of my life. And that's the rest of the year. I mean, for insurance and like electricity, et cetera, all the et cetera. So it's like, how many months of my year are already chewed off? It's almost 4. 4 months of the first part of the year is paying everything. So now I'm down to 6 for food, gas. It's not like I have a lot of entertainment because I live up in the woods, but the way things are costing, my car is going to need a $1,000 overhaul coming up. So I think the best part of this is I'm going to be studying on how to set up a cabinet, or you take up a pantry. If you've got something in the house, you've got a closet you don't use, and start writing down where you shop and what the prices are. Start price shopping, or see who charges what. But one of the good things is these the big box stores, they do a good job. You can get the massive box of this or box of that, but that's already prepared stuff. Myself, I like making my own macaroni and cheese. I like making my own rice with different combinations of flavors. I like making my own soups. If I can make my own soup, get some potatoes and leeks, and I like making soup because I actually have a culinary arts degree, and one of my favorites was soups. So that does help me with prepping stuff, but also is getting containers. And like, if you store your food, you want to keep it safe from pests. No, depends on what part of the country you live in. I live up in the mountains here, and we got those little rascals mice. They're not like the city mice that are, nasty looking, but they're all still mice. And so they've gotten into, if you got something plastic, those little buggers can chew through a plastic tote sometimes, and then they've ruined your whole bag. And so even if they get in one little bit, I'm just not going to trust it. So a lot of times I would say get like a metal container, and you can get those at a lot of different places there, like Home Depot. You get crates and stuff that snap and are metal. But I found that certain plastic ones, like there is the black tote with the yellow top. The mice have not gotten into that. And I've had some in my shop out there, and I've seen droppings in which they can't get into that thickness of it. So those are probably the best containers you can find on the planet if you're going to prep anything or keep anything in a closet. In one of those big totes, you could put a month's worth of food in there. 1 month. If you do it on this list, which I will be providing here in the next few shows, I'm going to get on what's the essentials. I'm going to get some prices where I live and what things cost, and help set up that first prepper box. And it's not a prepper box of just, the world of the ends type of stuff. It's just financial. And the class I did was talking to people was, how can we diagram menus and buying your products to help you financially with the pinch that's going on, especially now, and how to shop and how to look around what you can even make for yourself. And if you want to go out a little bigger and get yourself a vacuum packer, it's about $100. You get them at Costco and a couple places and Amazon too. Amazon's another place. I know I'm pro of what they call brick and mortar myself, but if Amazon has it cheaper and you can order stuff like that for containers, or like I said, the vacuum packers, but they even do dry goods. But the thing is, a black tote with a yellow top, most Home Depot sells them, Costco sells them, and you can snap those together and you can literally mark them. And the thing is, dating, first in, first out, FIFO. That means, you have them dated when you put them in and when they're going to come out first. So a lot of different things on prepping your cabinet or your pantry, and find a nice, cool place. If you do have a nice shop, if you have a garage next to built into your house, find a corner or something of that, out of the way, and market what's in it, and date it, whatever, when you put your stuff in. And you can mark all the stuff, even stick something on it, put a ledger on there and tape it on there and what you have. But I've been dealing with myself is my garden. I do have a garden, and I do put a lot of gardening out. I'd like to have beets because I'm a big beet guy, but for me, I like cabbage, and cabbage is very universal, man. You can, when you get your cabbage, I got a freeze dryer, which is way, way far away from talking about that now, but I freeze dry my cabbage, and when you reconstitute it, is what they call it, put the water in, it comes back to its normal state, right? 99% of the nutrients are still in it after freeze dried. So cabbage goes good with, like I said, it's particular diets. My cabbage, I like to put some peppers in there and put some with some rice, and if you have some chicken, and like I said, I got some recipes from certain books here that I got from one of these I got here is right here. It is the big book of mixed skills, and it has a lot of different things on like how to build stuff, how to fix stuff, and like certain hand tools. Like they got welding and stuff like that, but it's got the ladies in there, but it's got hand tools, and it's got every definition of what the hand tool is. I didn't know what a difference between a vice grip was, and when I was younger, and just the regular pliers. So it's got I got those in pictures. I'm going to put those up and go. That's where you go to the $1.50 store, get those, and you have yourself a little toolbox, and that way you can, like I said, there's one of the biggest things is what are the most important things you need with a blackout or an emergency. And I have a DVD of 37 of the top things that you need. For me, number one is a flashlight. Number one off the bat is a flashlight. Daylight's great, but stuff happens at night. You got to have that light. You just got to have the light to, if you do have something set up already, if you're prepared, you have a generator and you want to keep the freezer going. But actually the freezer can go for 48 hours if you don't open it. And most of the power companies will tell you, if you go online, they're already going to send it. We're going to be out for 18 hours. So your freezer is going to be pretty decent. It should be, if you don't open it. In your fridge, you open it a couple times and get what you need. And the other thing is have a cooler ready. Okay. If you do, I like to have ice prepared. I like 2 or 3 bags of ice all the time at my house. And I got a big freezer outside. And so there we go. If we know the power is going to be out, grab the ice, because the ice might go before anything else. So I'll put it in the cooler, grab 1 bag and put it maybe a couple bags, and then take the milk and stuff out of the refrigerator, and the stuff we're going to eat in the next day or so, and put that in the ice cooler. That way it's going to stay cold. Where the freezers that you keep are going to stay cold completely for 24 hours. Where a refrigerator, it's a little harder to keep cooler longer. And so that way I throw my stuff I'm going to eat in the next 8 to 12 hours in the cooler, which actually is a good benefit if you got that prepared. So I'm good at getting questions and then giving the answers, because I'm usually just the type of person that goes, I can tell you that one. So ice cooler, Joe. The power
ice
goes,
coolers, yes.
I love ice, man. I got 2 or 3 bags in there, because your regular refrigerator is not going to stay colder than your cooler over the next 10 hours or 12. If it's the company says 12 hours, your companies usually tell you you're going to be out 12 hours. But get the stuff out of the fridge, get the brews, and put them in the ice cooler, and they're going to hold up longer than your fridge will.
There you go.
Tip of the day right there.
Tip of the day from our Wednesday with Wayne Prepper specialist, Dr. Prepper, Wayne Rankin.
20 pounds of ice all the time.
There you go. There you go. All right. Well, Wayne, thanks, man. That was great. That was really good.
Thanks. Yeah.
And yes, I was here listening. I was watching. I know what was going on, so don't worry.
Right. How'd I do?
You did great.
My specialty is in a group and people asking me questions. That's how I work. I work better that way because coming up with some book. But I understand. I look, either I can look it up or I've done that. I understand what you're doing. I might want to tweak it this way. You might want to do it this way. So asking me questions. So I've done classes and we'll get discussion going because I love discussion and I love conversation. But that's for me to look in there and go, I just got to get my background going and get all my stuff going and get my spreadsheets rolling. And then, I'll have all the subjects I need to come up with.
You're good to go. And what we'll do is, folks, if you have any questions for Wayne about preparedness, emergency preparedness, and food preparation and storage and such, send them on over, and we'll make sure we get them into the rotation here so Wayne can answer some of your questions. Or if you're watching in the live chat, you can drop some comments in the live chat. That'll work as well. And we can go on from there. All right, Wayne. Well, we got to start wrapping this thing up here, my friend.
Okay. Second tip of the day, if I can do it.
Go right ahead. Shoot.
Everybody's trying to save gas. Let's say you ran down to the gas station, you knew this was going to go up. Make sure if you got the ethanol gas, go to your local auto shop place, auto zones or whatever they call them, and get a gas booster. Put it in there because the ethanol gas, after a couple months, will get a little, almost like kerosene-ish like. It sticks the carb up a little bit. So you can go to, I call it auto zones or whatever zones, car zones. Just ask for the little thing that boosts the gas up, because if you're going to be keeping gas for a couple months because gas is going up for your lawnmowers, et cetera, keep that gas tuned up.
Yeah, gas treatments are very
gas treatments. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Wayne Rankin, Dr. Prepper, my buddy here. Now, folks, I've known Wayne for 20 plus years. You believe that?
Yeah.
He stuck around for 20 plus years.
when I had dark hair.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Wayne. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate this. And folks, don't forget, next Wednesday, Wayne will be with us. And what are you going to bring us next Wednesday?
I'm going to start working on soil.
Right. I know you said spreadsheets, right?
Spreadsheets. But I'm going to work on soil and getting it started in one little pot.
All right.
I will actually be at class here. I'll have a presentation maybe for you. Little clay pot with the dirt and put a seed in of lettuce.
Perfect.
And how to cultivate that and how to just nurture it to a nice big bundle of lettuce you can eat in your own home.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yep. All right. So, Wayne, I'm going to throw you backstage. You're going to wrap up the show, and I'll touch base with you momentarily, my friend.
Love you, Joe. Take care, buddy.
Too, bud. All right. You too, man. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Wayne Rankin, folks. Great stuff. Really important stuff we really do need to pay attention to, especially given in the day and age in which we live. It is incredibly important to be prepared, stocked, and ready to go at a moment's notice. All right. Well, with all of that said, let's give shout-outs to our executive producers, Wayne Rankin, Rosanna Rankin, Carolina Jimenez, Marissa Lee, and, of course, the inestimable Anonymous Angela. And, of course, we also have John Seeley joining the ranks of the executive producers. So thank you guys for all that you do, all the contributions you guys make. And, folks, again, they're donating their time, their talent, and their treasure to help put these shows together. And we really wouldn't be able to do a lot of the stuff that we do without them. And if you want to find out more about how you can help out the show, just head over to joerooz.com/support, joerooz.com/support, and you can find out all the different ways that you can help support the show. And as long as you have the means and you're able to do it, jump on in. I know things are tight. Folks, prices going up everywhere. Gas, food, utilities, everything is going up. But if you have a penny to send over, we'd appreciate that. No, seriously. Very, very serious. All right. Let's see. And joerooz.com/support if you want to help us out some more. We really would appreciate that. All right, folks. Well, with all of that said, I think it is time for us to say good night. So, folks, don't forget to head over to the website, joerooz.com. That's joerooz.com. www.wayneandbobby.com and send us over a message. Let us know what you think. Any questions, comments, cares, or concerns. We would really love to hear from you guys. All right. Next week, Wayne will be back. And thank you again to Wayne for all the preparation that he's been doing for these. We missed him. We're glad he's back. And we'll see you next time. Folks, make Texas independent again. Go podcasting. Keep a steady stride. More important, keep talking. Good night, folks, and we'll see you on the rebound.